Welcome to Diana Today, where you will always hear a message of hope, encouragement, and especially a word of restoration. Diana is a life coach, author, motivational speaker, and a woman with a passion to lead you into the best version of you. Here's Diana.
Welcome everyone, this is Diana here on Diana Today, and we are entering 2019 winning. I'm so excited about this new year. We have new programming, we have a list of guests, a lineup of guests that are going to bring some very insightful information for you. So I spent, I would say, the last few weeks of December of 2018 talking about the importance of assessing and projecting. Assessing those things that worked for you during the year. A lot of times we have the tendency of focusing on the things that didn't work, or beating ourselves up for the goals that we didn't make or the numbers we didn't make. And we close the year kind of beating ourselves up or feeling bad. But I like to encourage people to focus on the things that did work and use those things to propel you to go into the new year winning, and project for the things that you want to continue to work on that worked. And one of the things that I always say this, and most of you that have heard me speak on this before will know that I always say it's not necessarily trying to find new things every year, trying to find something new. It's more about assessing the things that you really want to accomplish and what areas can you strengthen that, not necessarily finding something new. So here at Diana Today, we've done that. We've assessed what does our audience want to hear? What is it that the people want to hear? What is it that we got the most feedback in? So I have a lineup of guests that are really going to be a blessing to you, that are going to be very insightful, informative, and bring some interesting topics. For instance, topics about fitness, health and wellness, not necessarily dieting. It's more of a health and fitness topic with some fitness trainers and experts in that industry. Talk about success, talk about career changes, talk about chasing purpose, so many things that we have lined up for you. And so you can tune in to our program here on DSTV. You can find us on our YouTube channel, Diana Today. All of the links are listed here on this program on the screen so that you can tune in. So now tonight, I want to talk about maybe 2 or 3 things that I feel will really, really make a difference for you in 2019, but have also made a huge difference for me. So number 1, I would like to encourage you to go into 2019 defining what it is that makes you happy. What is it that truly makes you happy? And I want you to notice that I'm not saying to define what makes you feel good. Because a lot of times, some of the things that make us feel good aren't really the things that make us truly happy at the end. For instance, I will tell you that sitting with a bag of potato chips will really make me happy at the moment, but it's really not in my best interest. I'm talking about defining those things that the outcome is really what you're looking for. And the way that I like to do that is by asking, when was the last time that you really felt at peace? That you really felt comfortable with yourself? That you really felt happy about yourself? And ask yourself, what was it that I was doing at that time? And so it's not necessarily tied into being on vacation, although that's great. It's not really tied into I was in a great relationship, although that's great. It's not really even tied into my marriage was just great. That's truly important. That's not really what I'm getting at. The point I'm getting at is, what is it that you were doing for yourself that made you happy? That made you really feel confident? that made you feel that you were at your best. And so when you are able to define that, and you're able to make yourself a priority and say, I really need to work on this area of my life so that I can be a blessing or an asset to everyone around me. There are people that can go on vacation to the most luxurious places, but if they're not happy with themselves, they won't even enjoy where they're at. And one of the analogies that has always struck me, and so there were times, I have to be honest, that maybe it was a little bit annoying after a while because you feel like you already know this. But you know, when the flight attendants, you're getting on a flight and you have to go through the whole exercise of the oxygen mask, and there's times where like, really? Yeah, I already heard this. But if we really focus on what they're saying to us, it makes sense. So obviously it's, if we're in a crisis and we're in an emergency and you have a child next to you, or you have someone that you need to assist, you need to put the oxygen mask on first, and then your child or the person that you're trying to assist. Initially, when I heard it, I would think as a mom, my initial reaction or my first reaction would be to put the mask on my child. But what you're being taught is the importance of having proper oxygen so that you can help your child or the person that you're assisting, whether it be an elderly person, whomever that may be. So how do we apply that to our life? How do we apply that to making ourselves happy? And so the way that I apply that is that if we are not happy with what we're doing for ourselves, if we can't be confident with our own life, it is very difficult to help or make someone else happy or be happy around someone else. Because ultimately, only we can make ourselves happy. No one else can do it for us. And we can't make other people happy if they're just unhappy. So it is so important to be able to define those things and start prioritizing that. For some of you, it may be music. You know, for instance, I remember my daughter mentioning one year she made a decision. She was just going to go to as many concerts as she could. And it just made her happy. It really made a difference to her. For some people, it's dancing. You know, take up a ballroom dancing class, whatever that is, painting, drawing. You know, I can go on and on and on of examples. But also, how about your spiritual life? How about feeling that moment where you're at your best in the presence of God? And feeling the happiest when you know that you are in the presence of God and doing the things that He has called you to do. So I wanted to kick that off as being the number one thing that I would strongly recommend for 2019 is to define what that is. What is it that makes you happy? Where do you want to see yourself? And what are you going to do to make that happen? So here at Diana Today, we want to challenge you in 2019 to define what makes you happy and do the things that make you happy. Number 2, minimize the noise, the voices in your life. Make sure you surround yourself with voices that are empowering you and challenging you to be better. And number 3, allow determination to be your fuel. Be determined and be relentless in pursuing your purpose, pursuing your dreams, and pursuing those things that truly make you happy. Thanks for tuning in here at Diana Today, and we look forward to hearing about your success stories and being able to empower you to be the best version of you.